All right, we're live. You guys, thank you for waiting in true Waters Wife fashion. I am running 10 minutes on the dot late. So thank you for your patience, and I am so sorry about that. Guys, we are so excited to introduce you to this project that we have put together. It is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and these amazing people have joined me to make this a reality, and it is called the 500-Pound Project. And in this year, we are going to lose 500 pounds. Yeah, 500 pounds. You heard me right. We are going to lose it collectively, and we are going to get everyone involved. And tonight we're basically going to talk to you about who we are and our history with our weight and just anything you want to know about us that we're willing to share. And we want to get you guys involved on it too. So are you guys excited? I'm so excited. Everybody's excited. So what we'll do is if you guys have any questions for us, I know there's a chat in this broadcast. It's kind of hard to keep up with the chat, so you're welcome to talk to us there, but we're going to mostly be taking questions from Twitter. So you're going to use the hashtag Collab the Flab, and then we'll be checking Twitter. So again, we'll be in this chat, but it's harder to keep up, so tweet us your questions, please. Let's start by introducing ourselves. Also keep in mind that I've put all of our YouTube channels, the links in the description below, so make sure you go and click on all of us because some of us are vloggers and we'll be vlogging about this during the week a little bit, and some of us make amazing makeup videos and comedy videos, and pretty much we have a pretty talented group here. So let's start by finally introducing ourselves. Who wants to go first? Chantel, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi guys, I'm Chantel. I am from We Miss Show, is our daily vlogging channel, and my mommy lifestyle channel is Chantel Miss Show. So you can find me there. I had to take a quick break, but we are coming back this Monday, so I'll be excited to see you on my channel, and I'm so excited to be part of this collab. Thank you so much, Amy, for putting it together.
Of course, of course. All right, Todd, you go next. Todd, hello? All right, we might have lost Todd. Let's go to Stephanie.
Okay, hi, I'm Stephanie, and my channel is called Makeup Mama. I do all kind of beauty tutorials, and I also do challenges, and I do vlogs. So yeah, come check me out, and I'm definitely excited for this collab.
Yay! Todd, are you back?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Todd. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a photographer. You can find my YouTube page at Todd Graham Official. Yeah, that's about it. I'm really excited about this project and watching everybody succeed. I think the biggest part of this is having somebody in a group of people holding you accountable, and that's what I look forward to most. I think this is the first time I've had people accountable or holding me accountable, so I think this time it'll be more successful than other attempts in the past, so I look forward to it.
Yay, totally. And Jonah, your turn.
Okay, so my name's Jonah, and I'm the Canadian in the house, and I'm really excited for this. I daily vlog, and my channel is My Uploaded Life, JD, and yeah, happy to be here.
Yay! And then I am Amy Waters from Waters Wife Vlogs. My channel is, you can just go to waterswife.com. I got that for Christmas, so I'm still getting used to sharing that. I do sort of daily vlogs. I only post about 3 vlogs a week, but I do film every day. I film just me and my crazy thoughts and my husband and our 2 cats, and it's exciting. And so that is all of us and our channel. So like I said, all of the links are below, so please go subscribe to us and show us some love, because we are going to be mostly putting updates here, but we'll be doing a lot of behind the scenes and that sort of things on our own channels as well, so we would love to have you over there as well. And of course we have our Facebook page which is facebook.com/ and then it's the 500 pound project, and pound is just LB, no S. I just made it that. So I think that we should start a little bit because obviously this is about our health and our weight. So I think we should also introduce you guys to a little bit of what we've done in the past and what we're hoping to do this year with our weight. So we can start with what our weight has been in the past. For me, I've always been kind of like a chunky little baby into a chunky child into a chunky adult. I was lucky that I met my husband and he saw past all of that and saw my shining personality. But we were both almost 400 pounds, and we were like, we cannot have a family at this size, and what do? We really need to get this under control. So we tried all sorts of stuff. We tried just obviously eating healthy and trying to work out, and we'd see a little bit of progress, and then it would get kind of overwhelming, and we would fall back into old habits. We hired a nutrition and exercise consultant, which we both lost about 50 pounds on that. But again, it was the same thing where it was so strict and we just couldn't keep with it. Finally, in 2011, we made the decision to have weight loss surgery, and we both have had weight loss surgery, obviously. We had it on the same day, just after Valentine's Day. We both had the duodenal switch, if anyone is interested in that. So I want to be the first one to say that weight loss surgery is not the easy way out. There are so many misconceptions about weight loss surgery, and if anyone ever has any questions or concerns about weight loss surgery, please just ask me. I'm an open book. I will admit that some of it worked and some of it didn't work, and I'll be the first person that will be so open and honest with you. I do not regret our decision whatsoever. I lost almost 200 pounds. So I went from, my starting weight was 397 and I got down to 222. So I kicked butt on that, and I had to like watch everything I ate. I had to exercise. I had to put in all of the work. But what happened is as I got closer to the 100s, we got to a point where we wanted to start trying for kids. And I didn't want to wait anymore, so we started doing that. I ran into some kind of infertility issues, not full infertility, but just we were having trouble. Started taking some hormones to try and fix that. Started not seeing a positive sign on that little pea stick, and I slipped into basically a depression and was just kind of like, forget all of this. I kind of just gave up, and I was trying to lose weight in the first place for a future child. And if I wasn't going to have a future child, then what was the point? And even though I was still working hard, like I was doing lots of walks and I was sort of watching what I was eating, I was just really in a sad and depressed place in my mind. And I started like binge eating again, which with a very small stomach is very hard to do, but I managed to do it. And I have regained a lot. I promised myself I would never see the 300s again, and I am, as of this morning, 310 pounds. So there it is, guys. That is my weight, and that is where I'm at, and that is not where I'm going to stay ever again. I am hoping that I will be out of the 300s by the end of this month, and I promise myself I cannot come back here again. I've been here long enough, and I'm not doing it for anyone else besides myself this time, and that is all the difference. So that's my story, and I got through it without crying. I'm a little teary right now, but I did it. So happy I made it through without crying. So that is what my past story is. So let's hear another past story and take the spotlight off of me now. Stephanie, do you want to go first? Stephanie might be frozen. I think Jonah's frozen too.
No,
so we're going to go to Todd.
Wait, Are other people present? I'm good.
Okay, good. So do you want to share your backstory, Todd?
Sure. I've always kind of been the bigger kid. I played sports a lot. They always tried to get me to play football, and it always, they're always encouraging me to eat more and get bigger and stronger. And in high school, I was still bigger than most of the kids, but I was really strong. And then when I got into college, no sports. And, I went from 6 or 7 days a week, working out and eating relatively well and running miles on end. And when I got to college, it just all stopped. And I gained, I think, freshman 60, which is never good. And then I started South Beach, which I lost about 80 pounds in 3 months or so with South Beach. But then I got tired of chicken, and I stopped South Beach.
Oh my gosh, chicken.
Yeah, I'm so sick of chicken already. I did Atkins for a while, and I didn't really care for Atkins. And then I just started eating foods that I felt were healthy and helped out a little bit, and tried P90X and Insanity. And it'd been so long since I'd worked out, it didn't, it was hard to stick to. Everything was just so advanced. So, but yeah, we've climbed the weight charts quite a bit over the last 10 years or so.
It's getting spotty. I think we lost Todd. Todd, come back. You got a little spotty and then you fizzled out.
We lost Stephanie.
And Stephanie's gone too.
Us. What is with it? Chantal, I think it's just going to have to be your turn.
Well, Jonah's here too.
Is everyone frozen? Seriously?
No, I'm here. I can hear you and see you.
Am I the frozen one?
Your face is frozen, but your voice isn't.
I'm afraid if I close out, then it'll close out the whole broadcast. Am I back on?
Will. It's just me and you.
Oh no! But can you see me moving now?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Difficulties. Okay. Well, while we're waiting, then Jonah, do you want to go ahead and share your story?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, as a kid, I was actually really skinny, and I only started gaining weight when I got to high school, and I didn't even really gain all that much. Like I was like between 160 and 180 throughout high school, and then I started hormones because I'm transgender, so I take testosterone, and in the beginning it made me really, really hungry. So instead of like fighting the urge, I just ate and ate and ate, and I actually gained like 70 pounds in the span of like 6 months. It was like crazy. I blew up like a balloon. And my body was so like overwhelmed by the amount of weight that I put on so quickly that walking up my road, which is probably like 300 feet, was a struggle. Like I'd cry because my back hurt so bad I couldn't move. And then I just decided one day to quit all junk foods, and I did, and that lasted for about 3 months. And in that 3 months, I lost about 40 pounds, and I kept off 30 for the longest time, but then I started to gain it back. So that's my motivation for joining this collab, because I'm just sick of being fat and unhealthy, and I need to change. So that's my story.
Awesome, awesome. Oh, I think Todd is joining us back in. We can see if he is back. Are you back with us, Todd?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's a little echoey. But we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? feel like a Verizon commercial.
Oh, now we've lost it. We can hear you, but it's echoey.
Can you hear me now?
I hear it.
God, somebody grab her.
Okay, so Todd, do you want to go ahead and finish what you were saying?
Yeah. Am I still really echoing?
What? Okay, well, we can move on to Stephanie. Do you want to go ahead and go? Well, maybe not. Are you ready to go, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, can you guys hear me okay? Is it still echoey?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't. What was the last thing you guys heard before I cut off?
There was, so you were in college and you gained the college 60?
Yeah, like normally people have like that freshman 15. I had a freshman 60. You know, I gained a lot of weight in college the first couple years, and 10 years later it just kind of, you know, went downhill even further, more and more, and you know, 10 years after high school, and I'm a pretty big dude now, so I think it's time to, get it back together and, try and lose some weight. It's been tough to do it. Like I said before, having people holding you accountable, not having that support in a lot of ways. And the people that were supportive were all, in good shape, so they couldn't really sympathize or understand where you're coming from, and you'd be trying to eat a salad and they're ordering pizza, and it's hard when food is so important. You got to have it, and you're trying to cut back on it. But yeah, so that's pretty much my story for the most part.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. Like, that was the hard part when we were working with the nutrition and exercise consultant, because he would be like, well, do you guys like popcorn? We're like, yeah. He's like, then eat a bag of spinach. We're like, yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
So I totally hear you. Like, it's nice to have people that are in like the same boat,
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And then who else? Stephanie, have you done your story yet?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I keep getting confused.
Oh, it's okay. Like I keep having modem problems, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just like the Atlanta area.
It could be, because mine's crap too. So.
Yeah. Why? It sounds really echoey. Am I echoey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's echoey. But Amy was echoey too.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
It sounds like somebody has the live feed in the background.
I have the window open, but it's muted. Chantel, you actually have two screens pulled up.
I do?
Like, I have you in here twice.
How is that even possible?
That's where the echo's coming from.
Hold on, and I'm gonna log out and I'll try logging back in.
Okay.
All right. I still sound echoey, but can y'all hear me?
That's
Yeah,
echoey.
what we should do is when we're not talking, everyone who's not talking, let's mute ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and mute me. Everyone mute themselves except for Stephanie.
Okay, I started gaining weight around 5. I don't really know, what happened. I was skinny up until that point, so I was kind of always like a chubby kid. Looking back at pictures, I wasn't as fat as I felt. Unfortunately, like I was also really tall, and kind of just, like I was an awkward kid and I got made fun of a lot. In fact, at one point in like 7th grade, someone asked, like, how does it feel to know everyone in the school hates you? And I'm sorry, I may cry. Um, and so, like, when I would come home from school, how I would make myself feel better, like, I would eat a bag of Doritos. And my mom kind of suffers, like, with her weight. She doesn't now. She's, like, lost weight as she got older. And so they never said, like, hey, you don't need to be doing that. Let's, like, eat apples or something. I would, do you want some chocolate? Yeah, have some chocolate. And so, I just kept gaining weight. When I was in high school, I lost some weight. And then when I was in college, I actually lost 60 pounds, but I still felt fat. Even though years later when I went to a weight loss doctor, I was actually my perfect weight at that point. But I didn't feel my perfect weight. I still felt like that fat kid that was getting picked on. But at that point, like, I got married, which was happy, and I had 3 kids. But then, having kids kind of makes you gain weight again, which, my husband was overweight. He didn't care. Then I had my youngest son, who is now 13, and I decided I'm going to get back into shape. So at that point, I actually lost 80 pounds. And I kept it off probably for a good 2 years. And then I went through a divorce. And that kind of, like, put everything back on me. Because at that point, I was a single mom. And, I wasn't one that went out and, like, drank, or I wasn't going to go party. But you have to have some way of, like, coping with stress. And what was my way when I was a kid was eating. So that became my way again. And yeah, so I actually wound up, like, meeting another person, got engaged, and had another baby. And that relationship didn't work out. And at this point, when I weighed myself today, I'm at the weight that I was when I was pregnant, which I'm not happy with at all. So I just have to be better. I have to be better, as far as my health, because I found recently that my father's family has, like, diabetes all in it. I'm lucky at this point that I don't have that, but it is a very distinct possibility that at some point I will.
That's hard.
Sorry that I got so emotional.
No, that's good. I mean, that's the best thing, is to, like, be emotional and be real about it, because if you just kind of put a mask on, that's exactly what we've all been doing our whole life, is putting masks on and covering up the problems, I mean, now is our time to be real with ourselves and be real with everyone who's watching, so that we can make progress this time, because this time is different. Like, that's one thing that I was a little leery about starting this at the beginning of the year, because everyone is doing their resolutions. This isn't a resolution. This isn't just, oh, we'll stick with it for a month. This is something that I have been kind of thinking about for a long time, and just didn't really have the full idea until, in the last couple of weeks. It's just coincidental that it's at the beginning of the year. But I think it's a good thing to cry. Think of the water weight we're losing. So, okay, who else haven't we heard from? Chantel, did we hear from you yet?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I was born a chunky little monkey, and as I got older, I thinned out. Come 4th grade, I thought I was Michelle Kwan, so I broke my leg ice skating. Like, the worst break the hospital that I went to said they had ever seen, and I was in a cast from February till the December. It was really bad. So I gained a lot of weight. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't be active, and I was a dancer. I grew up in a dance studio, so that was really hard for me, and I gained a lot of weight, and that was 4th grade. So when I came back to school after a couple weeks and I had put on all that weight, I was picked on because kids are mean. Kids are the most brutal, like, honest people you will ever meet. They're like mini drunk people. And so that was horrible for me, and it made me eat more, like just eat and eat, because that's how I covered my feelings, was I would eat. And by the end of 6th grade, the beginning of 7th grade, I was 13 years old and almost 200 pounds. And I was dealing with my grandfather's cancer. My grandfather was very close to me, and I kept gaining. And my mom was a heavier set woman growing up, and she looked at me and she says, we need to do something together. So we started the Atkins diet, and I was successful. I went from 215 pounds, I think I was, to down to 145. And then my birthday came, and I ate a piece of cake, and that set off like a whole chain reaction. I just wanted to eat more cake. Like, who doesn't love cake? And so I started gaining all that weight back, lost, and it was depressing. Like, I only wore big baggy pants and big sweatshirts, like, just to try to hide it. Very shy. I had very few friends because I was in musical theater and I was still a dancer, so that was my thing. But you think it was embarrassing because you go into the studio, there's a bunch of these little skinny girls that are dancing and they look so pretty, and then I look like the elephant twirling in the back. So I would always stand in the back, and it was just horrible, and I'm going to start crying because I'm a weirdo. And so through high school, I would lose weight, and then I would gain weight, and then I would lose weight, and I would gain weight. And I was a cheerleader. I tried to stay super active. I was in track, but I was still the heavy girl. And going to a school where I graduated with 45 people, I was one of the only heavy girls at that school. So dating was not a thing. Like, I didn't date until my senior year, and I'm going to be brutally honest, I dated a girl. I dated a girl. It was a very mental and emotional abuse, and so I uncontrollably gained weight. And at the end of that relationship, I was at one of my highest weights of 293. And then I canceled that. Well, I broke up in that relationship after getting help, and I had to talk to a lot of people, and I was finally back to myself, and I was meeting new people that didn't just see me as the fat girl. They saw me as a real girl that they wanted to be with, and it was a good feeling. So I was losing weight, and then I met Travis, who saw the real me, and I am so grateful for him. I couldn't do without Travis. And I got pregnant. I was 265 pounds when I got pregnant, and I actually lost 20 pounds while being pregnant. And so after I had Jackson, I was like, well, I'm going to keep losing because I'm breastfeeding. Well, that's crap. Not everybody loses their weight while breastfeeding. I was 310 pounds after having Jackson. And I stayed that way, and come wintertime, I get the winter blues, and I get really depressed, so I stayed there. I stayed inside with my son all winter long, and being up in Maine, that's a hard winter. It starts in end of October, early November, and it goes till April, May. So I was inside that whole time not doing anything except for being with my little boy. And I started Weight Watchers towards the end of winter, and I started seeing success. And I am now 273 pounds, and this is not where I want to be. I want to be healthy for not only for myself, but for my little boy. Like, I want to see my son graduate. I want to see my son get married. I want to see my grandchildren. If he decides to have any, that's totally up to him. But I want to see that. I want to see every little moment in his life. And I don't want to die till I'm like 185 years old. So that's my story. I'm the kind of Maine that nobody saw, and I plan on being something big in my life. A skinny big. I plan on being just not who I am today. And that's my story, guys.
Awesome. Like, I don't know. Yeah, like I think we all have like such hard like stories. Like we've all come from such incredibly different backgrounds. But the crazy thing is like that's what made us all the pretty awesome people that we are today. And like all the people watching us today, like they all have crazy background stories too. And like, but the thing is we all have this like common thing, which is the internet, and we can all support each other and be there for each other and just be real, you know, and make this like, even if you're watching this and you don't have 100 pounds to lose, you don't have 5 pounds to lose, or you have 200 pounds to lose, like when I first started. You know, like we are all in this together. Maybe if you don't want to lose weight, but you want to build muscle, or you want to lift the weight amount that you want to lift, like we all have fitness goals and just goals in general. And this little project of ours is specifically made to bring us all together. So each different and so many things in common, you know. So I don't know, guys. I am just like so excited about this. Like all of your stories are so inspirational to me, and we all have like, I don't know, we all have, I think, that we're gonna bring to this project that is gonna be really, really exciting. Like we all kind of have our own path that we're going to take. Like all of us are going to be on our own paths, but our paths are running right along with each other so we could be a support. For me, I'm going to go back to a similar diet to after my surgery, which was high protein, low carb. It's going to take some work to get there. I want to do this the correct way. And so I'm not just going to be like, oh, everything cold turkey. I'm totally off everything. I have proven to myself that that is not a good way to last. I started in November cutting sugar out of my life again, and then I would have a cheat day on the weekend where I would have a little bit of a sugar treat if I wanted, and that went really, really well. So I kind of want to get back to that where I'm only eating clean and healthy during the week, and then I'll have a day where if I want something small, I can have that. But eventually I want to get to the point where I'm not having very many carbs, I'm not having sugar. I don't think that I'm going to cut out natural sugar like in fruit, but I am going to be more mindful of like dehydrated fruit is way higher in sugar content, and like that kind of stuff. So I will be mindful of that. But that's where I'm starting off. So this week we went shopping and we got lots of just whole organic foods, lots of vegetables, some fruit, some apples to eat. Just so instead of reaching for a bag of chocolate, I'm reaching for an apple, or for my cat wants to be in on this. I won't eat my cat, I promise. But I might put a muzzle on her mouth if she doesn't be quiet. Anyway, so that is what I will be doing this year. Jonah, do you want to explain what you're going to be doing this year? Are you with us, Jonah? Jonah, I can see you. You're on mute, Jonah. Can you hear me?
Are you talking to me?
Hey, is it good now?
Jonah, there you go. It's Jonah. Okay, got it. You're good to go, Jonah.
I couldn't do it, and then I forgot I was muted.
What? I think we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Jonah. Okay, so we've lost Jonah. Todd, do you want to go next?
Hello?
Todd? Okay. Is it my computer? Like, everybody's on such delay.
No, it's lagging
Can
on
you hear me?
too.
We can hear you, Jonah, but I think you're on, like, a huge delay.
That's really weird.
Okay, so you might want to log out and come back in, because I think you keep cutting out. Is there anyone who can hear me who wants to go next?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you want to go ahead and go?
Me or Chantel?
Oh no, I'm confused.
I'm confused.
Oh. Was that both? Did both of you comment? Sorry.
Yeah.
I keep.
We said we could both hear you.
Oh. So,
And now she's lagging.
Yeah, bad.
I can see Todd moving at a normal, like, I don't know if he can hear us though.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Sweet.
You want me to go?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I guess I have like a little bit of a different dietary need because I am a vegetarian, and I'm very like echoey again.
can anybody hear me?
Yeah, hey.
I can hear you.
Sorry, guys.
My screen.
What?
I was going.
I think that my internet is. Yeah. My internet might be the one freaking out. We're going to go restart it really fast. So this is going to cut out, but then we'll be right back.
Okay, so did that stop the video? Are we still on?
I think we're still on. Mine
We're
says
still
live,
on.
so yeah.
Oh.
Stay. It won't stop the thing.
Are there people in chat?
I'm reading through the chat on YouTube, seeing if there are any questions.
So do we have to go like to a completely different window? We can't read it from like the little things on the side here?
I've got YouTube off to the side so I can read the comments.
Okay.
The video muted. Yeah, everybody says we're still on, so it's.
Hi. Hi.
Are we live still?
I guess so. I mean, so do we need to wait for Amy, or should I like talk about what I'm gonna do? I don't know.
If you want a real entertainment, I can do a tap dance, guys.
Dancing with the Stars.
Okay, do you guys see two of Amy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I back at least in one of them?
Yeah.
We're back in one of them.
I don't get how I'm in here twice. Let me see
You
if I
have a
can.
twin.
But one of them is
that
just like our collage. It's like all the pictures of us.
So we restarted our internet, and I hope that worked. I still am hearing everybody like echoey.
Yeah, it was better for a long time, and then it got echoey again.
Okay, so Tyson says that it was going better when. Actually, I think I'm gonna put headphones in. You're gonna just have to watch better. All right. If you guys can put on headphones.
I don't have any with me.
All right, that's okay.
And if I open the door to go get headphones, my son's gonna rush in like a bull. So.
Yeah, my headphone jack doesn't work in my laptop.
Well, can you guys hear me okay with my headphones on?
Yes. In fact, oh, never mind. I was going to say it sounded better, but no, it doesn't.
Does anybody else have YouTube open?
No.
No. I think it's your double thing again.
Okay, I will come back then.
Okay, Shell, we're waiting for the dance. Come on.
Yeah. I think I left my tap shoes in Maine. Shoot.
I love that, like, all our little technical difficulties are going to be all over YouTube.
Why do I still hear the echo?
The echo is real.
The struggle is real.
Am I back as just one person?
Yeah. I only see one person, anyway.
Yay! Okay. So we'll try that. I don't get to hear the more. Okay, so did we manage to get through everybody and their plan for this year? I'm kind of confused where we left.
No.
All right, who hasn't gone already?
I was, like, talking about mine, and then you cut out, so I didn't know if I needed to, like, keep talking.
Oh, okay, sorry, Steph. Go ahead and continue. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. No, I was just saying that I had, like, a little bit of different dietary needs than the others because I'm a vegetarian. So I've already cut out meat, but I'm going to try to not drink soda. That's like a big thing. And I guess two of my main problem areas would be sweets and like carbs because I love any type of bread or like donuts. Oh my gosh, don't get me started on donuts. So I definitely want to like cut sweets and carbs down as much as possible. But because I am a vegetarian, like a lot of things that I eat are carbs. So I'm gonna have to try, I'm going to read some books and research online, um, just some different things. And I'm also going to try to eat more raw. So like a lot of fruits and vegetables more in their like natural state versus like, you like fry vegetables or, you can cook it in sauces and like oil and mess, a good vegetable up. So that's kind of my plan.
Cool. No, I think that'll be good. Like that's what I was saying. Like raw and whole foods, like those are definitely good. I heard somewhere
Hmm.
that like you shouldn't ever eat something that will like if you leave it out, it won't. If it'll last longer than a week, you shouldn't eat it. I guess is what I'm
Hmm.
saying. Like, awesome. Well, that sounds like a pretty good plan. Like that was my one thing. Like I knew that we were all going to be on different plans, but I think a lot of
Hmm.
us have very similar plans too.
Right.
Todd, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me okay? Is it still really echoing
It's
or?
not. I wonder if it was on
I
Chantel.
hear you.
Okay.
And if you guys aren't talking, will you
Stephanie's
mute?
the only one echoing.
Yeah, mute yourself if you're not the one talking.
Um, so as far as my diet goes, my big thing is eating a lot more greens, cutting out breads. Bread and I have, gone together like PB and J since I was a kid. I've always been a big bread person. Not necessarily eliminating carbohydrates because our body needs carbohydrates, but I'm really trying to eliminate some of the bad carbs, you know, things like that. Eating a lot more greens, exercising a lot more. I don't exercise a whole lot other than my job. I walk a lot, I kneel a lot. I'm always carrying heavy equipment for my work, but beyond that, I'm kind of a couch potato. So exercising a lot with healthier foods, I think, is kind of my main goal. I've found that trying to quit cold turkey on a lot of these foods and trying to go, like 120% on certain workout programs, you end up, you know, shutting yourself off too early because you feel discouraged. Just kind of slowly but surely weaning off some of the really, really bad foods and going from there. So, um, yeah, that's kind of my plan as of right now. Every time that I've tried to, whether it's South Beach or Atkins or anything like that, I've always just kind of like one day I'm eating cheeseburgers and pizza, and the very next day I'm eating completely healthy, and then I relapse because I miss those foods so much. It'd be like anybody else, like if they were a smoker or anything like that. Food's such a big part, so I'm just trying to eat healthier to the point where I don't even crave these really bad foods anymore. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning for this year.
Yeah, no, I mean, so there's another similarity. Like, you can't just cut everything out cold turkey, because otherwise, like you said, that's when you start craving and all that crazy stuff. So it sounds like you have a pretty solid plan for the year, too.
Yeah, I hope it works out. I hope it works out. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, it'll work out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, Jonah, did we hear from you yet?
No, not yet.
All right, go for it.
So basically, what I want to do is Something similar to what I did last time, where I just cut out a lot of bad foods. A lot of the things I cut out, I kind of stuck with. Like, I haven't had McDonald's in almost a year and a half. So it's been quite a while. And I don't drink pop or soda, as you guys call it. And like, I don't eat candies and stuff. So a lot of the things that I made habit is still a pretty good habit that I have. So I'd like to like pick three things to not eat and then just completely stay away from those and then minimize anything else that's like junk food and just try and go from there because I don't want to stop myself from eating too much because then I'm just gonna end up falling off the wagon and eating it all. So I don't know, I'm just gonna try whatever I can and do a lot of exercising because that really helps. So it's basically my plan. I'm just gonna go with it as time goes on.
Awesome. So more similarities. Sounds like so with the whole like soda thing, soda pop, whatever. I obviously, when I decided I was gonna have weight loss surgery, I decided to give it up also. So I went like 3 years without drinking soda. And now I will have an occasional soda, but it's not something that I drink all the time. And in fact, I only drink water unless I'm having like a treat drink, which is very rare. So it's you get to the point where you can have soda, but it's not anywhere near what you used to drink, you know? It's not a good substance. And even diet soda, I know a lot of people think that they can just switch to diet soda, but it's just as bad. It's just
Yeah,
bad in a different way.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of diet soda, and that's another thing that I need to cut out a lot.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Okay, so that is what we're going to be doing individually this year. So let's talk about, we've had some people asking how they can get involved. Basically what our schedule is going to be is every Sunday on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed, we are going to put up a update video of how we all did during the week. And we're all going to answer the same 5 questions. The first question is obviously going to be what is difference. The second question will be regarding health and nutrition. So like if we made a really awesome meal, or if we had a really awesome workout that we want to talk about, or if we're struggling with meals or a workout, we can talk about those. Question number 3 will be, what was your human moment? Because we are all human and we are all going to mess up. We're all going to like stumble and fall, but we're obviously going to pick each other back up and we're going to keep going. But also, human moments don't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It can be a non-scale victory, like you fit into the pair of pants that you used to fit into, or you were able to drive your car without your belly trying to drive the steering wheel with you. That would be me. So question number 3 will be our human moments. Question number 4 will be our kind of tips or advice, things that we either came across that we found worked well, or if we have some advice, if we saw somebody asking a question on Twitter or Facebook, or if we're needing advice for ourselves. So that will be question number 4. And then question number 5, or response number 5 really, will be our mini goal for the week. So each week we can kind of start setting goals of where we want to go, and we will discuss how we did on last week's goal and what we want to do for the upcoming week. So every Sunday, like I said, we'll put a video up where we're all going through these 5 items. But on the first Sunday of every month, we will do a live broadcast like this so that you guys can get involved questions on Twitter. We have some really exciting news for next month. We are going to be having a fitness guru, if you will, who will be joining us, and yeah, we're kind of excited. I'm not sure if I should share his name yet. It might be Phil O'Reilly. I'm just saying, if you know who that is, he'll be joining us probably next time. So I've locked down the date with him today, but we'll see. Now, in addition to joining us with our live broadcast, we kind of would like to have you guys join us on our filmed ones once a week also. So how you can do that is, if you have been inspired by watching us, or you're doing your own fitness routine this year and you have found that in the last week you had some success, by Saturday you can email, like film yourself telling who you are and what your fitness goal was and what you did to accomplish it, or if you lost a certain amount of weight, just something short. We prefer under 30 seconds. And we will put you in our videos, and you can email that. It's best to use the website WeTransfer. If your clip is small enough and you can send it directly to our email that I'm about to give you, that's fine also, but WeTransfer is probably the best way to go. It's just WeTransfer.com. And the email address that you'll use is collabtheflab@gmail.com. So pretty easy. So we are super, super excited for you guys to not only support us in being there for us, but also to be a part of this project with us, because that's how we're all going to be successful, is if we all just join in. So I'm excited. So we have a bunch of questions on Twitter, but before we do that, is there anything else that the four of you guys wanted to say about the videos or anything before I move into the Twitter questions?
I didn't get to say how my year.
I'm sorry, what?
I didn't get to say how, like, was going to try to do my year with the eating and stuff.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, sorry. I was like, with my internet cutting out, I kind of lost track of who was going where. So yes,
No,
we
it's
definitely.
fine. I had to log out, so.
Okay, but now best for last. So now it's your turn.
So my plan is to start Weight Watchers again. I know a lot of people like Weight Watchers. I had great success with Weight Watchers. I lost 20 pounds in, a month and a half, I think, is what it was. And it was going really, really, really well for me. And when we moved from Maine to Colorado, I unfortunately had to stop it because funds had to go to moving. So now that we're settled back in and everything is going right, as it should be, I'm going to be able to sign back up, and that's where I plan on going with that. And our gated community has a workout center, but we are moving, so I'm hoping that the new place has a workout center. If not, Planet Fitness is doing like $10 a month, and I can definitely swing that, so I will probably maybe do that, and definitely some at-home workout videos that I have. So that's my plan. And
awesome.
ta-da!
Yeah, no, I love Weight Watchers. We did Weight Watchers for a little bit also before surgery, and I have been back and forth because I've kind of wanted to do Weight Watchers again, not necessarily for the points and whatnot, but just for the community that they build on their own. I mean, it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
I find the meetings extremely important. Like, that is my accountability. Like, I can do it online, yeah, but the meetings with the leader and stuff is extremely important to me.
Yeah. Awesome. Yay. And such a positive attitude about you have a gym now, but it's going to be going away, so what are you going to do? You have like 5 backup plans. That's awesome. That's like the way to go.
And I know it sounds silly, but I've actually looked up workouts that I can do with my toddler.
Nice. That's cool.
So that will be able to help him have some mommy time and still be able to get my workout in.
Of course. You should make sure that you record some of those so we can put those in our weekly update videos, because I know there's a lot
Definitely.
of moms with toddlers out there who are going to want to join in, you know?
Definitely. I will do that.
Yay, cool. All right, well, glad we got yours in, because that was an exciting one. Is there anything else anybody wants to to throw out before we move over to some of the questions?
I'm good.
Did everybody share their starting weight?
No.
That's a big no.
All right, so we're just gonna rip off the Band-Aid. I already
I
said
forgot
mine.
what did I post? Somebody tell me. Hold on. I gotta go look it up on Facebook.
All right, so I already said mine. My starting weight is 310. Todd, what's yours?
I don't remember. It's been at least an hour since I looked, so it's no. I am 360 on the dot.
Nice. All right, Chantal, what's yours?
I am 273.6.
Okay, and Jonah, yours?
I weighed myself like right before we started, so I ate all day, so I don't think it's completely like the right weight, but it said 271.
Okay. And then Stephanie, did you find yours? She's still looking up hers. We might come back to her. All right. While she's looking, oh, she might have it.
Okay. So it was 354. Oh my God.
Okay, but don't forget, this is just the starting point. Every single one of us, I think, when we looked at the scale, whenever we looked at it in the last 24 hours, I think all of us were just like, oh my gosh, because we're not only sharing this with the 5 of us, we're sharing this with the whole internet, but this is not going to be our way anymore. So I think it's something, like, not to be proud of it, but this is something to embrace. This is who we are today, and this is not who we're going to be tomorrow. So moving forward, we've got it out there. We'll probably put like a sidebar or something on Facebook just so people can keep track of our goals there, but we'll make sure to write all of that down. Okay, so let's move over to some Twitter questions. So the first question comes from Patty, who says, what made you decide to kick yourself into gear with the weight loss? So we kind of already answered that with our weight backgrounds and histories. So so that's kind of already been answered. I mean, just again, for me, it was every single time I did this, even when I went and had weight loss surgery, I had done it for someone else. I mean, when I had weight loss surgery, I was doing it for the thought of a future child. So this time, for me, it's different because I'm doing it for myself, and that's why I wanted to stay committed to it, and that's why I brought in other people. So yeah, I'm doing it for other people because you guys are here with me, but I'm doing this for myself. Does anybody else have anything that they want to add to that question that they might not have already covered with their story?
There are
Okay.
a lot of things that, you know, being this size makes life a little bit more difficult. You know, you can't experience life fully being this size. You know, you can't ride roller coasters or, you know, just, you know, friends that want to go hiking or running or, you know, there's so many things that you miss out on being big, and it's depressing, and I just want to enjoy life fully and want to live as long as possible and healthy as possible. So, yeah.
Totally. Anybody else?
I guess, you know, mine is basically a health standpoint too, but it's also like I have a 2-year-old. You know, my older kids are older, so they're kind of like, you know, they don't want to run and play with mom. But my 2-year-old is at the point, like, you know, she wants me to run and chase her, and like, mama's out of breath over here because I'm overweight, and I need to not, you know, I don't want to be that person. I want to be the fit mom that's like running after, you know, my kids. So that has a lot to do with it. And I know that may be that I'm trying to do it for someone else, but it's still for me too.
No, totally.
To kind of play off of Stephanie's, I always like thinking about Jackson and stuff. Like, I want him when he's old enough to want to take me on school field trips. I want to be the mom that interacts with his class and stuff like that, and I don't want him to be embarrassed. I don't want him to get picked on because his mom's the big mom.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting to think about. Like, I don't think I've ever kind of thought of it from that perspective, but I mean, you watch, like, on Glee, there's a character from this last season whose mom was overweight and worked in the cafeteria, and so
Yes.
the mom was, like, very afraid to, like, have anybody realize that they were mother and daughter because she didn't want her daughter to get picked on because of her weight. So that's an interesting perspective.
That was Marley, right?
Yeah, I love that name, Marley. All right, anybody else want to add to that question? The Lopez Chronicles wants to ask us, does anybody have chronic illnesses that will hamper our weight loss journeys? Raise your hand if you have one. Who wants to go on that? Does anybody have any chronic? I don't think so.
No.
I have a pretty bad knee, so like I'll never be able to run, but that's not really something I care to do anyway. I like walking, and I can do like weight lifts and all of that sort of stuff, so my knee doesn't really add to it.
I have bad knees too. You know, I don't feel bad knee right now, but like anytime I start really pushing the envelope with workouts, it'll kind of put me out of commission for a little while, which sucks. So everything I do initially pretty much has to be low impact, which can be tough sometimes.
Do you have a community pool? One thing that I loved doing was water aerobics.
We don't actually, which we used to, but we moved not too long ago and not anymore.
Swimming and all of that stuff, that's probably what I'm going to do a lot of this summer, but not right now where our pool is frozen over.
Yeah.
All right, let's Patty has another question. Are any of us putting some apps to keep track of our workouts, etc.?
I am. I use MyFitnessPal a lot. I find it like really beneficial. I don't know if you guys use it or if anybody uses it, but you know it's got like barcode scanner, so you can just scan your food easily, and you can calibrate it to how much you weigh and your physical activity, and it'll show you, you know, how many calories you can eat that day to maintain, or if your goal is to lose 2 pounds that week, it'll tell you what you need to do in order to reach that goal. And if you come ahead of the game for that day, then it kind of like folds over into the next day and that kind of thing. So MyFitnessPal is pretty sweet if you guys haven't used it before.
I use it every day.
As I say, I think Jonah is using it. Okay, so we've got two of you with MyFitnessPal. Stephanie bounced out for a minute. What about you, Chantel?
I'm using MyFitnessPal right now because it's in a sense like Weight Watchers, and until I get back to Weight Watchers, but when I'm back to Weight Watchers, I'll use their mobile app because that tracks fitness and your points and all that glorious.
Nice. I have that app, so it sounds like I should probably jump on there. I had a job phone up wristband for over a year that I was using. I now know myself. I know on a typical day where I don't go to the gym and I just do like stuff around the office, I know how many steps I get in that day, and I also know how many steps I get in a 4-mile walk. So I found that after a year of wearing it, it really was just redundant, and I kind of am in the market to sell mine. So if anybody wants to buy it, you're welcome to, because I'm probably going to post it on the local ads here soon. But so I'm not doing that anymore. So it sounds like, yeah, MyFitnessPal will probably be the route that most of us are going. Stephanie is still not back, so we will just move on.
I don't know if you guys have, real quick, heard of Endomondo. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's one of those trackers to see where you walk, and it shows like incline and things like that and how fast you did it. And it uses GPS and things like that, which is pretty cool. You can use it on your cell phone.
Oh, that's cool. So you'll have to post about that, like a link to it or whatnot, in our Facebook group, because I have no idea what the name of it.
All right, I'll
Or I guess you could type it in the chat over here. I know what you said. I just didn't hear the name. I was like, I heard innuendo, and I don't think that was right.
Yeah, it's an innuendo.
I kind of figured that I was probably wrong. Stephanie, the question that you meant was, are you going to be using any apps to track your fitness or your food or anything?
I haven't really looked into that. It may be something that I need to look into that could help. So I can't really answer that question right now, except to say that I haven't really looked into different apps. If there's anyone that wants to suggest, some, I don't have Apple products, so I'm just on an Android.
It sounds like the rest of us are actually using MyFitnessPal, and I know that Todd doesn't have an Apple phone, so it should be on a Droid.
Okay.
So it's just MyFitnessPal. So we'll have to link up to that. And what we can do is in our update video for next week, we can, if we want to share our ID or whatnot for everybody to follow, then we can do that as well. Endomondo. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm just going to see if there's any other questions. While we're waiting for any more questions, we don't have anything else on Twitter that I can see. Do you guys have any other questions for each other and for how this is going to run or anything like that? I know we've kind of talked about it beforehand.
Something I really wanted to touch with that I thought I could connect with other people with is I have severe depression. So something that I would like to connect with others that are in this with me that have severe depression, and if you have any uplifting quotes or anything just to help me keep going, and I'm going to help you keep going. I'm an emotional wreck all the time, and I'm really hoping that getting into shape and working out, because working out gives you endorphins, and endorphins makes happy people, will really help me in that sense, because the littlest things can set off my depression. And honestly, it is a mental battle for me every day of, am I worth it? Am I worth a place on this earth? And I know that sounds really scary, and some people don't understand that. And if you don't have depression, it's kind of weird to wrap your head around. But that's really something some people really go through on a daily basis. And I really think if it wasn't for my son, that I would just give up completely. So I'm really hoping that working out and eating better and getting into shape is going to help that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I had written that down for us to talk about and then forgot about it for some reason. Exactly. I don't know. I believe that losing weight will help with depression and whatnot, but even if it doesn't technically, for whatever scientific reason or whatnot, I think that just the community that we've already put into place, we've been talking talking about this group for a week now through our Facebook page, and the amount of support we've got. Our Facebook page went live on Friday, and we already have 150 likes, like without even introducing who we were. So the amount of community that we can have surround us is incredible. And a backstory for me, I mean, I kind of touched on it, is like I have suffered from depression and anxiety for quite a while. And when we were going through our time frame where we were trying for a child and we weren't having any success, I went into a really dark place for quite a while. I don't think a lot of people around me even necessarily knew, because it's kind of like Robin Williams. Like, if you're genuinely depressed, like, a lot of people don't even see it, because you get really good at putting a mask on, because you kind of have to. That mask is your armor to get out of bed, right?
Yeah, no, I was known as the bubbly girl in high school, and inside I was suffering. I was struggling day to day, and I still am, but I still put that smile on because I don't want my son to see me as a broken person.
Right. But, I mean, it goes back to, like, it's hard because you have to be real, you know? I mean, it's one thing for your son. Obviously, you need to be super strong for your son, but, like, we have to also make sure that we are being very authentic about who we are and where we're at. I mean, I'll be honest, like the last 2 days for me have been very, very, very difficult. Like, I had finally gotten to a place, like, because I had been struggling for quite a few months, and I had gotten to a place where I was feeling really, really happy. And just yesterday I woke up and I just was really sad. I was just really sad. And same, I thought maybe I would go to bed and wake up today and it would be different, and it wasn't. And I know that I'm strong enough to get through this, like, whatever it is that's on my mind right now. Like, I know I'm strong enough to get through it, but it's like, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, like, you know, I'm glad that I've had this group to, like, take my mind off things.
This has been, like, my go-to group just in the past couple days to talk about anything. I don't know, like, I feel like we've all gotten a bond.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really helped me. Like, I had a breakdown today, and it was over something so silly, like really, really silly. And I wanted to go back to Maine and hide. Like, that Maine was my hide. Like, that was my wall. I could sit in my house and I could rot there. And Colorado has made it so I can't do that. There's so much more to do here, so I have to get out and I have to take Jackson places. And he's at that age now where I have to take him places. Like, he wants to exert his energy. So I do that, and that has helped me a lot. But when I get into those moods, I just want to go hide. I want to get in my car. I want to drive back to Maine, and I never want to leave again. Yeah. But this group has helped me in such a way that, like, I can come in here and I can laugh with you guys and I can talk, and that helps me.
Good.
Yeah, this group's helped me a lot. I'm still working through a lot of personal stuff. I've been guarded my entire life, and you know, even in this kind of live broadcast type thing, it's hard for me to say how I really feel in a lot of senses. I think not only do we have, like, this weight loss journey that we're on, and we have all the support system, but I think emotionally it's going to help a lot, because, you know, I suffer with depression as well, and I've always been that person that I never want anybody to know what I was feeling or going through. I really hated it. I don't know why, because I know so many people suffer from it, but it felt like a disability, and I didn't want people looking at me and that feeling sorry for me kind of thing. So I think this group will help me a lot, especially those that suffer from the same kind of stuff. Just in the last hour and a half, I mean, I feel so much better about me and you guys and it's helped a lot. So I look forward to seeing what happens over the next year or two.
Me too.
Yay. For those of you who might not know, for those of you watching, so that would be everyone, we all connected on Facebook, and we have a little chat that we are in that's just the 5 of us. And so for the last week, we've been kind of like getting to know each other, because I mean, I didn't really know most of the people. I came into this knowing Jonah, and then I'd just gotten to know Todd a little bit. But Stephanie and Chantel I didn't know before this week. And so we've just been kind of chatting. In the last couple of days, it's gotten pretty honest. I'm going to throw it out there, ladies. I'm sorry, but we've discussed some pretty TMI women issues. Bless our men's hearts. They, they suffered through those conversations with us. But it's been nice because, we've all been prepping for this moment, this broadcast, and doing all this together, and it's been nice to have that. We want to build that same thing on our Facebook page, where if you guys are needing someone to talk to, then please feel free to go to our Facebook page, which again I mentioned, it's facebook.com/the 500 Pound Project. Pound is just LB. You can post on that wall, and if you're needing someone to talk to, or you're struggling, or you have a question, or you have advice for us, anything, you can post on our wall there, and we can talk back and forth, and if we need to, we can open a chat with you and have a conversation. We want to make sure that everyone is involved and feels that they can join in. Anybody else have anything to add to that?
I mean, I guess I should talk about some stuff, but I'm like nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's just us.
I don't know. Like, I suffer from, I wouldn't say it's depression. I suffer more from anxiety, but anxiety can lead me to being depressed, if that makes sense, because I worry about how people are going to look at me or how I'm going to be perceived, so I don't put myself in certain situations, and I tend to hide, a lot in my house, but not necessarily just like in my house. If I'm going, it's like, okay, I have my kids and that's all I need, but sometimes you need more people than just like your kids. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
yeah.
Because I know my kids love me, right? But like other people may not love me, so I don't put myself out there. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely. Okay, and here's another thing. I almost think that I need like therapy, almost in a way, to deal with how I perceive myself, because even when I was like, what was my perfect weight, I still felt like that fat kid. So that may be something that I need to look into.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I know I need therapy. Like I said, the last couple of months I had been sinking into a depressive state, but same. I think that my depression, this bout of it came from anxiety. I have a very high stress job that I work at full time. In addition to, as much as I adore my YouTube channel, I have high goals for myself with my vlogging, and it is another full-time job that I added right into it, on top of adminning for a very active Facebook group. And I had so much going on that I did just start having anxiety attacks. And there would be points where I would just start hyperventilating and crying uncontrollably because I can't control everything around me. And I think so. I mean, I went to a doctor and I got diagnosed. This is the first time I've been diagnosed with anxiety. I've been officially diagnosed in the past with depression and post-traumatic stress, so I'm dealing with those. But I think even a person who's never been diagnosed with that stuff, I think that everyone would benefit from therapy at some point in their life. And I could build it myself a soapbox right now. I am so mad at our society for making it a shameful thing to either take medication for an issue that you have or for going to see a therapist. I am sorry, but I almost hate our society for that. Like, let alone for saying that fat people aren't beautiful, more so that you are not allowed to get help for the things that you need help with. Like, what kind of weird world is that?
I hate society for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, seriously, right? Like,
I know something from me is I don't want to take medicine for the reason of my family has an addiction issue. So I live in Colorado now, and I know a lot of people don't agree with marijuana, but marijuana is very helpful. And not in a like a I want to get super high and eat everything in my sight. No, there's like candy bars that are specific to people with depression, and there are drinks, and there's butters and stuff like that. And that's something that I am personally looking into for my depression because I don't want to get addicted with the past history of my family.
Right. Now, let me just say, because I kind of have like strong feelings about that. My son was just diagnosed with bipolar 2 months ago. No, not even 2 months ago, like a month ago. And he actually had like a psychotic break, which is some of the stress that I've been under in the past few months. But it was caused from marijuana usage. So make sure with like you having depression that it's not something else, because if you have a underlying mental illness, any type of medication can set off, something worse. The doctor told him that he can never do that again. He can never drink because it could actually cause a psychotic break.
I think that's something, and that's something I kind of actually wanted to make sure that we stress also. Make sure that we're all doing this very healthy. I mean, we've all said, like, something that's going to work for one person and have one result is not going to necessarily be the same for the next person. So we all need to be committed that we are going to have a healthcare professional be by our sides. So that is one thing that we need to make sure. And for anyone watching this who wants to join in with us, please make sure that you are going to your doctor and getting your yearly physical, that you're discussing this. Especially, like, I know when I was at 400 pounds, I had very high blood pressure, clearly. That's the only thing. I'm very lucky. That is the only thing that I ever had at that weight. My cholesterol has always been very well taken care of. But so if I had tried to just jump right into an excruciating workout with that high blood pressure, that could have spelled disaster for me. So I want to make sure that we stress, like, we are all going to be on different paths, and we're all going to be discussing things that work and don't work for us. But we need to make sure that we are saying we are going to be communicating with healthcare professionals. Okay, we just mostly, so I think we're getting more, like, less questions and more supportive comments. So I want to just pause for a minute and just thank everyone. I mean, this is something, I have been so nervous. I talk about my weight quite often over on my channel, Waters Wife Vlogs. And I have been so scared every time I talk about my weight because I know how cruel the internet can be. But it is just incredible, the positivity that is going on. I'm watching the chat here to the side. I'm watching on Twitter, And just, we have a lot of support out there, guys. We should be very, very, very lucky because it means a lot to us. I mean, it means a lot to me that for all of you to just be joining in. Like, I can't believe this little idea I had is going to be this. Like, I think this is just so incredible. Like, thank you. Well, I don't know. If there's really no other questions, I don't know if there's anything else anybody wants to talk to about. We've been going for almost an hour and a half, so that's pretty good. What's everybody's thoughts?
I've got more, but I don't want to, drag it on longer than it needs to if people are.
No, I mean, if there's more to say, though, I mean, there's a couple of you who have said that, I mean, we haven't heard a whole lot from Jonah. So, I mean, is there anything that, like, you want to talk about, any masks you want to remove and reveal to the group? Like, this is the time.
Well, I was just listening because you guys had stuff to say and it's interesting. But I'm actually gender. So she's actually been helping me, like, not weight loss, to support me to lose weight. I don't want to have top surgery, which is like breast removal, because I didn't get that done yet. So basically, I have to lose. She wants me to lose 60 to 70 pounds before I get that done, and I agree with her, because what's the point of having it done and then looking at myself and still feeling disgusted because I'm not at that right weight? So I want to lose all this weight and then get it done and then just feel great about myself. So that's another really big motivation for me, because it's something that I really need, because I deal with a lot of anxiety, like social anxieties, going out in public because of that. Like, I can't go out because if I go with my binder on, it'll hurt me. It'll like literally cut my sides. So there's a lot of things that I'm like limited by. So I'm excited to get it done.
Definitely something that you and I have just think that part of where this came from is because Jonah and I have discussed weight and how our weight has affected us since we met, which I think was back in August or so. It's been a little bit. So that's definitely, I mean, I know that that's been something that's been on your mind for a while, and I think I'm really eager to see you get there, because I know that we discussed that this is your year to get that surgery, and I want to see that happen. I want that goal to come true this year. Todd, do you have anything else that you want to say? I know you said you've been kind of holding back a little.
Well, not like necessarily holding back, but I think kind of go back to one of our previous questions that one of the things I really struggle with is my self-image. I hate the way I look and all that stuff, and one of the things not one of the things that causes it but doesn't help is the work that I am in. I work in, if you ever see a magazine, for example, and you see this person look perfect, I'm the person that makes them look perfect. I do a lot of the Photoshop stuff for corporate and commercial work, and in a world where everybody's got to be a certain way or look a certain way, and you'll take pictures of women that weigh 240, 250, and then your creative director says, I need you to make her look 60 pounds less or 70 pounds less, or you have wrinkles, we need to take those away, or if she has, or he for that matter. So they're basically telling you that the way even I look isn't acceptable, the way they look isn't acceptable, we have to perfect it. So having people constantly telling you how somebody needs to be looking is tough. So working through that as well, like working on my personal image, how I see myself, is something that I need to work on a lot over this next year.
Yeah, imagine that. That would be so difficult. I guess you don't think about that. Like, see, talking to you guys, it's so incredible the different perspectives that you help me to see. Because, I mean, I would love to be a photographer, videographer, but I can't imagine, like, yeah, you know, the powers that be or society or whatever telling you to do different photoshops, and you're sitting there like, okay. It's kind of similar. So for my job, I work with physicians, and I have to get information on these physicians, and part of the information I have to gather is a reference from their peers. And one of the questions on there is like, what would you like to see this physician improve upon? And it is incredible the amount of responses we get that say, I'd like to see him lose some weight. And my initial response is like, that is none of your business. But, I mean, it's different than what you're talking about, because with photography, that is capturing the here and now. Like, that's unfair. I think Photoshop has its place, but I think that it's unfair that you're not allowed to show who someone is right now. With a physician, it's difficult also because that physician has to be able to guide their patients into losing weight or being healthy overall. And I struggle because I've worked with a lot of doctors who smoke. And it's like, how can you do that and then tell your patients not to do that? You know, so it's similar and different. Like, it's interesting, all the different perspectives, and when is it okay and when is it not okay to comment on someone's weight, you know? It should never be okay to comment on someone's weight. Let's just put that out there. But one question before we move any further, Casey in the chat wanted to ask us, how do we motivate ourselves when we feel like giving up? Obviously, we haven't started really this year yet, so so for me, what I can say I think will keep me motivated is obviously this setup. Something that has made me give up in the past is that I really haven't been held accountable. I mean, I have family and friends who've been there for me through so much, and I do feel the fact that I got down to almost the 100s and now I'm back to 300, for me, one of my biggest things is I regret letting them down. And I'm not going to let them down again. I'm not making any promises. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I do not, and I will not ever set an end weight goal. I would love to be in the 100s. That is like my version of a goal, but I don't want to let anybody down again. So it's going to be, that's just how it's going to be. That's what's going to keep me motivated. I've got to stay strong for my peers that are in this chat with me, and I've got to stay strong for all of my supporters, and that's what's going to motivate me. Does anybody else have an answer for that question?
I guess, yeah, it will definitely help keep me motivated. I think knowing that I have lost, at one point I've lost 60 pounds, at one point I lost 80 pounds, is exercise is key for me. Like, I could eat nothing bad and I still would not lose weight, but the minute I start like exercising, just for whatever, with my body type, whatever, I just kind of drop the weight. So I almost at times will get addicted to exercising, which I don't think most skinny people understand how much fat people freaking exercise, okay? We spend our life exercising. We are not sitting on the couch 24/7. We've probably exercised more than you. Our bodies are just like, our metabolism is shot at this point, is what is going on. So we kind of have to reset our metabolism. I'm sorry, I just went on a soapbox there. But yeah, I have to definitely. My big thing is I'm going to try to join a gym. There's one that's opening that's 24 hours because I have to kind of go when nobody else is there. That's like, anxiety. Sorry about that. Not going to exercise in front of people right now. Um, but definitely that will help me because if I'm going to spend my money on a gym, then I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So I think those two things will definitely keep me motivated. And then like my kids know what's going on with this and that I have this going, and so I know they're going to be like, Mom, and I don't want to let them down, and I want them to be healthy. So they kind of need their mom to be healthy too.
Exactly, exactly. I think that's an incredible motivation, of course. I love your soapbox, though, by the way. Chantel, what's going to keep you motivated this year?
There's a lot of things. Like, I have to learn to keep myself motivated. Like, if no one else is going to motivate me as much as I am.
Exactly.
And, of course, Jackson and Travis have a lot to do with it. And just living life in general, like we joke about going to Harry Potter World. Like, I legit want to go to Harry Potter World, and I want to ride the Double Dragon. I went in 2011, and they actually have seats to see if you fit. So if you don't fit, don't bother going in. And
Wow.
I couldn't get the bar down. I could not get it down and clipped. And that was horrifying because, first of all, it's embarrassing to go in and then get kicked out of a ride, but the seats to make sure you fit are right out in the open. And it's like everybody saw me get off that and not fit, and it's like, I don't want that. It's like,
Yeah.
I would be able to go to an amusement park because that's my favorite. I love roller coasters. And I want to be able to go to an amusement park, and I want to ride a ride with Jackson. I want to just do all kinds of silly stuff.
Well, we kind of have talked about, yeah, exactly. Like we talked about when this is all over next year, the end of this year, we're gonna find a way to all of us meet because we're all obviously in different parts of America and our little Canadian buddy Jonah up there. We're going to meet in Orlando, and we are going to go to Harry Potter, and we are going to go to Disneyland, and we are going to go to the beach, and I am going to be in a bikini. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not promising that. But we're gonna find a way to meet, and we are gonna go on those roller coasters. And I'm old enough that I know when I got down to my lower weight and I went on a roller coaster, they make me sick now because I'm old. But so help me, if I get myself back to a point where I fit in them, I will go on one. What about you, Jonah? What's going to keep you motivated? Jonah. Maybe. Maybe not. Todd, do you want to say what's going to keep you motivated?
The thing for me is, now that I'm starting to get a little bit older, the possibilities of things that can go wrong will go wrong. Health risks start increasing more and more. I've heard of people younger than me, healthier than me, die of heart attacks. And, I don't have high blood pressure, but I'm definitely high risk for it. And I don't want diabetes. And there's so many other things. And starting a family, and I don't want to leave behind my family, my friends. There's so much more in life that I want to accomplish, and having so many people in my family in healthcare, you see just how important it is to be healthy. It's not even so much about losing weight, which is important, but just being healthy. And the thing that's going to keep me motivated is really the fear of all of the things that can go wrong if I don't. So.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot that's going to keep us motivated, and like I said, this is different. I know, like I said again, I'm recapping this again, but like I know I was very hesitant to start this at the beginning of the year because I don't want this to come across as something that is just a fad, that we're just doing this as a resolution and we're not going to see this through. We are all 5 very committed that this is going to happen. And if something comes up through the year that will make us have to drop out, that's going to have to be something pretty big. Otherwise, we are seeing this year through, and we are going to hit that 500-pound goal. We each have been allotted 100 pounds. Some of us won't lose quite that much. Some of us will lose more. And that's why this is not a competition. I was very, very adamant that I didn't want it to be a competition. This is a collaboration. And we are going to get these goals accomplished together. And we will motivate each other, and we will take all of the motivation and support and love that you guys have for us. I know some of you are discussing in the chat about recipes. If you have recipes for us that you would like us to try, maybe just recipes you've seen like on Pinterest or something, like I've toyed with the idea of throwing challenges into it and stuff. Like, so post those on our Facebook wall and let us know what you want us to try out. I'm more than willing to take or a smoothie or whatnot that we can test out and see if it's any good and give our opinions on it. I'm more than willing to do challenges like that. So bring it on, guys. Bring it on. You are going to keep us motivated. You are going to be in this community with us, and we want to see you guys setting some goals and reaching your goals too. So let's get this done together. This is for all of us, not just the 5 of us. This is for all of us. If there is nothing else, we don't have any more questions on Twitter. I'm not seeing any more questions on the chat, so I don't want to make this extremely long because I do know that there are several people who couldn't join us tonight and they want to watch this. This broadcast will be on our channel for the duration of the year. So if anybody, if you come across someone who might be interested in following our journey and joining in, please give them the link to this channel. I'm in the process of purchasing a domain, so I'll let you guys know when that is purchased, and we'll put that on our Facebook page. Make sure you are following us on Facebook. That's where we'll be giving you updates throughout the week, and we can talk with you guys. But that's where we're at. So is there anything else before we go that the 4 of you guys want to add?
I guess I would just like to say, I think challenges would be fun. That would be cool.
We kind of talked about it all. Steph? Yeah, I think so too. If they're, I really want to get like even a penny board or something. There's that skateboard workout that's floating around. At some point this year, I want to try that and see how that is. Like if there are things out there that you guys want to see us doing, I'm not going to guarantee that we'll be physically able to yet. But through the course of the year, like we would love to do any challenges you guys throw our way, because that's what's going to keep this interesting. And there's also on my channel periodically, and I want to get back to doing it more routinely, I'll do workouts. Like I've done Sweat into the Oldies and Jillian's 30-Day Shred and dance workout with Barbie. My coworker challenged me to do that one. I just kind of film myself working out, and so I discuss what I'm going to do. I film myself working. I speed it up a little bit, slowing down certain parts, and then I recap about, oh my gosh, what kind of workout was that? So those, if you guys have any sort of workout video, preferably one that's on YouTube so that I can watch it here at home and not have to purchase something, but I would love to attempt to do those kind of things. So keep those challenges coming at us. We'll definitely take those on. All right, guys. Well, I think that this is actually a pretty good spot to end it. We have been going for 1 hour and 48 minutes. Some of us have been in and out as our internet is.
I think all of us have been in and out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was so scared that mine was going to end the broadcast, so I'm very grateful that it didn't. But yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I have this weird button. I don't know why I have a weird button on my screen. Sorry, I got totally distracted by my weird button. Anyways, yeah, this is gonna be great, you guys. I'm really excited. I'm really thankful that you guys were willing to jump on this with me. That means the world to me. So, is there any final words anyone wants to say before I hit stop broadcast?
This is going to be the best year of our lives.
It really is. It really is. That's not even sarcastic. That's the truth.
Yep.
I am actually looking for. There it is. Okay, I couldn't find the stop broadcast button, but I found it now. So bear with me that I was stalling. You might have noticed I was stalling for the last few minutes, and that is why. But I found it! Yay! I found it along with my bat wings, apparently. Okay. All right, guys. For those of you live, we are going to stop broadcasting. Those of you in here, stay on for a minute. I just want to recap. But thank you for joining us. I hope you guys are just as excited as we are. And again, you are in this project just as much as we are. So we want to hear from you. Please, if you have a successful week, please film yourself Saturday morning. Just a quick 30-second thing telling us what you did this week, your name, all of that good stuff, and what success you had, and send it to collabtheflab@gmail.com, or we would prefer if you used WeTransfer and use that same email address, okay? We want you to be in our update videos. We want you to feel a part of this, and we're all in this together. So thanks for joining us, guys, and we will see you in our update video next Sunday. Bye!